So Blackburn Rovers left it late last weekend as they snatched all 3 points against Sheffield Wednesday in the dying minutes. But if you turn the clock back to just last season, Leeds United just did the same at Elland Road. Who's going to be victorious this weekend when the two sides lock horns? We'll talk about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. This time looking forward to Rovers' latest away day over to Elland Road, where they'll take on Leeds out in the Championship, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We're going to all hear under Warowski, that's right, and Rovers are heading right here to Elland Road, boys and girls. That's right. Leeds United are the hosts this weekend, and we are the visitors as we try to end this patch of the season with I'm hoping for 3 points, but you know what? This is a tall order as Leeds are doing bits at the top end of the table, whereas we are struggling at the moment. Fortunately for us, though, we do come into this on the back of a win. But we'll talk more about that in just a second. Anyway, let's take a little look at Leeds. They are managed by What's Chops. If I can get him up there. There he is. Marco Bielsa, the Argentinian Spygate extraordinaire. The match does take place this Saturday, which is the 9th of November. The danger man for me, from a Leeds point of view, is Patrick Bamford. And last season they did finish third in the Championship. Ultimately, they did stumble in the playoffs. I think Derby knocked them out, if I can recall. Now, the record over the years against Rovers, they played 100 times between the two, whatever. And 45 wins for Leeds, 23 draws, 32 wins for Rovers on this one. And their last time out, we actually did okay against them. We scored 4 goals in all against both home and away, but the same could be said for Leeds as well. In fact, we actually won 2-1 at Ewood Park, and we also lost 3-2, like I said at the intro, against Leeds when we won in a game that we absolutely deserved nothing from it. But we were losing 1-0 to flip it around to 2-1, but then for Leeds to flip it right back around to win it out 3-2. Again, we didn't deserve it. I was around Christmas time. I was enjoying my festivities, and that one was an absolute heartache because I thought we'd only gone and smashed it. Anyway, this season, obviously, we took it out the 9th of November, then we'll do it again on the 4th of April. So let's take a look now at the two teams. So no registered suspensions or injuries for Leeds, so clean bill of health. As for Rovers, it's the complete opposite. We've got no suspensions, but we've got a who's who of injuries with Brereton, Samuel, Sam Hart, Darrell Lenihan, all out for at least for a few more weeks anyway. Cunningham who was one of our top draw signings this season, is out for the rest of the year, rest of the actual season as well, with cruciate ligament injury. And who else is out there? Joe Grayson, young Joe Grayson is out as well. These are my lineups that I'd hope to see duking out. In fact, so Leeds on the left-hand side here, this is a similar style of formation. They don't actually have their formation that they've been playing recently. And I think it's actually a formation that would suit us to the ground with our current crop of players. It's a 3-3. Well, how does it go? It goes 3-3-1-3. Something like that. So basically, Phillips, so let's just run through the team here before I divulge. Casilla between the sticks, Cooper on the left-hand side of a 3-man defence, White and Ayling on the right-hand side. And then we push it forward the forward. It'll be Klitsch in the middle of the park alongside Dallas with Phillips in that holding role. Then we'll have young Roberts in the Bradley Dack role, the number 10, with Bamford leading the line, Harrison and Costa supporting it up top. And I think that would suit Rovers actually down to the ground with the crop of players that we have. So I've decided to copy it with Rovers. So Walton between the sticks, Williams, who is a left-sided centre-back these days, Nyambe, who can opt as a right back or a centre-back, and then Tosanam Adabarayo in the middle. I think that was probably the best option. Obviously, Williams does or can drift up and down the left-hand side. Same can be said for Nyambe. As long as you have two centre-backs doing the biz at the back, you'll be all right. Then I've got Armstrong on the left-hand side of a thing. I'll talk more about that in a minute. We have Downing in the centre alongside Bennett, with Travis being in that holding midfield slot. Then we'd have Armstrong on the left-hand side, we'd have Holtby on the right-hand side, and we have Dack in that number 10 role, and then we'd have Sam Gallagher leading the line. So I think that's probably a decent formation. Obviously, for me, realistically, I'd probably drop Bennett, but he ain't going to get dropped. He's the captain, so it's one of them. It's every season we seem to have that. It's the same deal with Charlie Mulgrew, who was the skipper last season, but it was our weakest link, and one of our weakest links. But I think he's our weakest link at the moment with this team. So unless he starts to churn out. He gives 100%. That's all you can say. But does he deserve to be in the team? I don't know. Let's take a look at the stats now for both these two teams. First and foremost, the host, Leeds United. Current top goal scorer is Nketiah, the loanee from Arsenal, scoring 5 goals so far. Mainly from the bench, Mr. Super Sub. Then it is my danger man, Patrick Bamford, with 4 goals. Aleweski's got 3, and Hernandez has got 2. As for the discipline, Aleweski's got 4 yellows, Forster's got 3, Phillips has got 3, and Klitsch has 2 as well. Berardi's got 1 red so far for Leeds. As for Rovers, Dak has top goal scorer for us, 6 goals. Armstrong's second with 3, Williams 2, Gallagher has 2 as well. As for the discipline, Daryl Henry has 5 yellows, Bennett has 4, Cunningham has 4, and Travis has 4. No reds so far. Hopefully it will long may that continue. Quick look at the last 6 matches. 5 matches for both sides. These come into this 2 wins out of the past 5. It's not ideal form, but still it sees them currently in the top 6 anyway. They did come into this with a 2-0 win over QPR last time out. They also drew with Sheffield Wednesday quite recently, 26th of October. They drew with Preston as well, 1-1 back at Deepdale, 22nd of October. Before that, they did beat Birmingham back at Elland Road. It was a 1-0 win on the 19th of October, and then they also lost, though, against Millwall, 5th of October. Meanwhile, Rovers coming to this on the back of that victory against the lastminute.com victory against Sheffield Wednesday. We did lose to Preston North End and Birmingham 3-2 at Deepdale, 1-0 at St Andrews. We also drew with Huddersfield 2-2 back in the 19th of October, and we also lost to QPR. So it's not great. Are we painting over the cracks here? I don't know. But I did say I would be happy with 4 points if we can get a draw out of this game or more. You know what? Things aren't that bad anymore. Moving forward, these are the next 5 games for each side. So obviously this weekend it is Leeds and Rovers duking it out at Elland Road. After the international break, because that is upon us, Leeds go down to Kenilworth Road on the 23rd of November. A couple of days later, they'll take on Reading at the Majeski. Then they will bring it back to Elland Road against Middlesbrough on the 30th of November. And then they'll start the month of December against Huddersfield. Looks like live in front of the cameras on Saturday the 7th of December. As for Rovers, obviously Leeds this weekend. Then a stretch of games I think it is very winnable for us. We take on Barnsley on the 23rd of November at Ewood Park. Then we'll take on Brentford also at Ewood on the 27th of November. So 2 must-win games I think for there. Then it's taking on Stoke, who are struggling. Out of manager these days. Obviously Jones has been binned off. Who's going to come in? They'll probably bring Chris Hughton, who is probably the most sought-after candidate available right now. But they may play a wild card and bring someone else in. So that's on the 30th of November. I still see that as a winnable game, but I would have rather played them with Jones as manager, because obviously the new manager bounce and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll take on Derby at Ewood Park on the 7th of December. Again, winnable games. Take a look at the last 5 or 6 games, both home and away. This is we're taking a look at the form books coming into this. So Leeds, they've actually won their last 3 home games, beaten West Bromwich Albion, Birmingham, and QPR. Prior to that, they did draw with Derby, they lost to Swansea, and they drew with Stoke in the Carabao Cup. Ultimately losing, I think, on penalties. As for Rovers, away form is absolutely hideous. 5 defeats out of the past 6. They did beat Reading, though, back in the middle of September. So hopefully we can try and get something. It's a tall order for Rovers to get anything out of this game. But let's take a look at the form books coming into this then. This is the overall form book, the last 6 games. Rovers coming to this 21st in the form table. We're on the rise, because last time out we were bottom. Middlesbrough now occupy the bottom spot. Barnsley and Luton look to be struggling at the moment as well. As for Leeds, they sit 5th in the form table, winning 3 at the past 6 games. Rovers losing 3 at the past 6. Take a look at the home form now. This is where we're looking at Leeds. They currently find themselves 5th in the home form table, winning 4 of the past 6 games. Rovers form, but doesn't really matter. We've just lost once in the past 6, so that's not bad though when you look at it. Just the 1 defeat. The draws though are killing us in the end. Take a look at the away form. This is where we've got to take a look at Rovers. We sit 16th in the form table for the away teams, and obviously 3 defeats on the spin doesn't look pretty. But then when you take a look at the broader points of view, there's 2 wins prior to that. I can't remember who that first victory was against. Was it Millwall? I don't know. But anyway, 2 wins out of the past 6 games. It's not pretty, really. Let's take a look at the last few games between these 2 sides and over the years. It's pretty good reading if you're a Leeds fan. 5 wins out of the past 6 matches between 2 sides in all competitions and all venues. Rovers' last victory was that 2-1 win at Ewood Park. And this is it right here. Look, that's what I was talking about. Big fat OG Derek Williams put Leeds in front before Charlie Mulgrew levelled it straight after half-time. It was cruising for a draw. Didn't think we deserved a draw, but then we only gone and took the lead with Charlie Mulgrew in the 90th minute. And then Kemar Roof steps up with 2 late goals to break our hearts. But anyway, prior to that, we did beat them 2-1 back in October last year. That's the last 6 games, all competitions, all venues. But if you take a look at the last 6 over at Elland Road, it looks a little bit more rosy. However, Leeds come into this 3 wins on the spin against Rovers. Prior to that, though, we did beat them 3 wins on the spin. Jordan Rose did like to score against Leeds back in the day. Moving forward, this is what Who Scored will reckon. They're kind of their synopsis of Rovers and Leeds. Leeds will create long shot opportunities, chances through balls and scoring chances. They also protect their lead. As for their weaknesses, finishing, scoring chances, avoiding being offside and stopping opponents from creating chances. They're also pretty weak with the aerial duels. Their style of play, possession football, attacking down the right, short passes, attempt through balls. They have a consistent first team 11. They like to play in their own half, but pretty non-aggressive. As for Rovers, their strengths, long shot opportunities through balls, creating chances through balls, defending set pieces. As for our weaknesses, defending down the wings, defending against skillful players, avoiding offside and protecting the lead is our weakness, which is a massive hindrance, I'd say. And style of play, possession football, we play down the wings, control the game in the opposition's half, we attack through the middle, rotate our 11 a little bit, and we're pretty non-aggressive. Whoop. Let's get a closer look at the goals and how they've come about for Rovers coming into this. So we've scored, 12, 15, 19 goals this season, 12 from open play, 3 from set pieces, 2 penalties and 2 OGs. As for goals against us, they've come 17 through open play, 3 from set pieces and 2 from penalties. As for positional stats, this is our touches where we seem to have the ball. It's mainly down the wings, the left hand side and the right hand side, kind of evenly split. So we like to spread it about a bit, and also we seem to occupy the middle third in preference to playing out of the back or playing from our defensive third. As for the shots, the majority of our shots have come through the middle, despite majority of our possession being out wide. Most of our shots coming through the middle. As for the whereabouts they come, the 15.9% come within the 18-yard box, 35% come outside the box, and just 5 in that 6-yard area, the DAC zone, I'd like to call it. As for shots against us, 59% come through the middle, 23% come from the left-hand side. That seems to be our weak side. So the left-hand side is basically our right side of defence, which is Nyambe's sort of side, I believe. So if that's how this is captured. As for the shot zones, the 50% come in the 18-yard box, 41% from outside the box, and 9% from inside the box. As for the opposition, Leeds, they've scored, if you look at the bottom graphic, they've scored 12 of their goals from open play, 3 from set pieces, 2 own goals, 1 counter-attack, and 1 penalty. As for the goals against, 3 only conceded 6, 8 goals, 3 from open play, 3 set pieces, 1 counter-attack, and 1 penalty. As for their touches, the majority of their touches come on the right-hand side of the field, with 40% of it. Down the middle seems to be where they like to have the ball. 36% is also down the left-hand side, 20% down the middle. As for their shots, 64% coming through the middle, 53% of them are in the 18-yard box as well, 36 from outside the box as well, 11% from inside the box. As for shots against, 67% of their shots received coming from the middle of the park, 44% within the 18-yard box, 47 from outside the box. Basically, that shows that their backline is tight, forcing the opposition to shoot further afield than inside the box. That's what I get it from anyway. Take a look at the top teams, and I'm expecting Leeds to feature here quite prominently. They are the second highest team possession-wise, keeping on average 59% of all possession, which would say Rovers would be 41% on that game. As for the aggression, there's nowhere to be seen. Barnsley top the table with that, 38 yellows, 1 red so far. Aerial duels, Birmingham lead the way with that, 58.5% of all tackles or aerial duels have been won on average per game. West Brom second, Millwall third, Brentford fourth, Derby fifth. Shots per game, we can expect Leeds to be peppering the goal, 16.5 shots per game, that's an average. West Brom are second, 14.5. Fulham not far behind in third spot. Passing accuracy, Leeds are in third spot here with 80%, 80.6% of all their passes reaching their intended target. Fulham, though, lead the way with 87.2. West Brom are in third. And they also lead the way with their average average rating per player. Take a look at what else is going on this weekend in the Championship. A bit of a derby on Saturday, early morning kickoff for me. As Forest against Derby. Then it's the 3 o'clock games. Hull City against West Brom, Wigan against Brentford, Reading against Luton, Sheffield Wednesday against Swansea City, Barnsley against Stoke, Millwall Charlton, North End against Huddersfield, QPR against Middlesbrough, and Birmingham against Fulham. And obviously the game of the weekend really is Leeds against Blackburn at Elland Road. On Sunday night it's a City derby. I'll just say City derby. I just made that up. Cardiff City up against Bristol City, and that is on Sunday, the one and only game. And then we head into the international break. This is what the current table looks like at the moment. West Brom lead the way. Preston are in second, despite their little flirt with the top last weekend. Leeds sit in third, Swansea fourth, Nottingham Forest fifth, and Bristol City sixth. As for the bottom, it is Stoke, Barnsley, and Middlesbrough, who would go down if the season was to end today. Rovers start the match this week. Out in 16th spot. A win for them could go as high as 13th, and that would be an absolute barnstorm if we can get a win, because then we'd be back in touching distance once again. We are what 7 points off of playoffs. It's not doom and gloom, and we are only 6 points off of the drop zone as it stands. So yeah, can I take a look at the current top goal scorers out in the Championship? Mitrovic leads the way with 11 goals, and Watkins is second with 10. Grant and Bowen and not far behind with 9. Then we have Johnson, Wells, Heigl, Woodrow, Eze, and Graben all there with their bunch of goals. As for the key assist man, Alisson is the top man with 6 assists. Brown has 5 for Luton. Pereira, Williams also have 5. Diangana's got 4 as well. So yeah. No Rovers faces up there. No Leeds faces up there either, which is quite surprising considering how many shots they have on the money. So that, my friends, is my quick overview of this match. What do you guys expect to happen this weekend? Do you think Rovers could pull wool over people's eyes and snatch the 3 points? If we're lucky, we could salvage a point, but ultimately I think Leeds are an overwhelming favourites on this one. I do expect them to win, and hopefully just the results go our way and we don't fall too far down the table, or maybe that chasing pack above us doesn't extend their lead. But do remember, Rovers fans, coming after this game, we do have very winnable games, 4 winnable games on the plate at least, for possibly double-digit points, a double-digit point haul on that one. So that's something to look forward to. But for me, the question marks are Sam Gallagher. He did have a niggle last time out. Hopefully he's good to go. It was quite shitty that he had to be pulled from the game against Sheffield Wednesday. I smelt a goal in him. It did smell a goal. Hopefully he can get back to his best. I didn't think he played that well last time out. He didn't really get the chances, but ultimately we got the 3 points. Defensive wise, though, it's always a big question mark for Rovers. I don't know what's gonna happen with us. I don't know what to get, especially with an all action packed Leeds United. If they're going to come and turn on the shots, we could be in for a long old afternoon. But anyway, folks, give your thoughts and opinions in the old comment section down below. We'll be back again. We'll look forward to this game. I will have a watch along on this one, internet permitting. I've been saying that for the past 2 or 3 matches now, and every Saturday, I don't know what, the internet goblins are coming out to my house and just pulling the plug on the poor machine. But anyway, I will see you then on the watch along. Link to my old Twitch platform is in the description down below. Make sure you check that out, and also make sure you stick around on the channel for some Championship predictions and all the kind of good stuff. I'll tell you, see you again very soon. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.